I want to let you in on a little secret. I didn't expect to cover Hugh Jackman making his return as Wolverine in Deadpool 3 as a segment of his podcast episode at all. It was originally going to be about Namor being confirmed as a mutant in Black Panther, at least until the announcement of Wolverine, the most iconic and far-reaching mutant of all, joining Deadpool, came out on the news, and I decided, you know what? Namor can wait. So too bad we're seeing Namor in less than 2 weeks. Sorry, months, anyways. Because I literally freaked out about Wolverine more than anything else. I had to take a few minutes to collect my thoughts and cool down at 4 a.m. in the damn morning. Now imagine my surprise when I watched a video of Ryan Reynolds confirming that the biggest mutant of all was going to make one more appearance on the big screen. Just one more time, mind you, in Marvel Studios in an entirely different timeline. So it won't reverse the ending of Logan. And in Deadpool 3. I want to go on record and say that this is one of the best comic book news I've ever heard. Like, ever. In case you don't know what I'm even referring to, Ryan Reynolds did a 81-second clip where he apologized for not bringing anything to D23 Expo. And I'll admit, we were a bit bummed out by that, but we weren't we weren't really mad at him because Deadpool 3 hasn't even begun shooting. But then Ryan Reynolds said this. But we did have one idea. Hey Hugh, do you want to play Wolverine one more time? Jackman then nonchalantly responds, yeah, sure, Ryan. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I'm gonna say it one more time for good measure. Hell motherfucking yeah! And you know what? Screw punctuality and professionalism when it comes to this news. This is awesome. I want Deadpool 3 right now. Give us the goods, Marvel. We want it all. Granted, there is skepticism to be had about this news. For one, we don't know what timeline Deadpool 3 is going to be centered on entirely. We don't know where in MCU or when it's going to happen. We do know it's not going to happen at the end of Logan or post Logan, for all we know, and that's a big possibility. But they might somehow reduce the impact of the beautiful ending of Logan because fans had to say goodbye to Hugh Jackman and Logan, but then having him show up in another movie, it's kind of like, did they need to do that? If that is truly the case, then forget my excitement for this news. If Deadpool 3 does not do a good job at adapting Hugh Jackman and giving his return the degree of respect it deserves, you'll probably get a more angry reaction if that is the case. And another thing, are fans ready to say goodbye to Logan for the second time? Because again, why lessen the impact of Logan? Logan is, I think it's the best comic book movie of all time. And I say this with all due respect to the Batman that was released this year. I say this with all due respect to X-Men Days of Future Past. And I also say this with all due respect to Avengers Endgame. But Logan has so many sentimental aspects. And I kid you not, there have been people that genuinely cried at the ending. That being said, is it really worth it to mess with the fans and have Logan just make a return in Deadpool 3? And in all fairness, Deadpool 1 and 2 did just fine commercial-wise without Logan. On the other hand, there is a whole lot of excitement to be had, obviously, about Hugh Jackman returning in Deadpool 3. Because Deadpool has a free pass when it comes to utilizing outlandish comic book concepts and crossovers. Because it's mostly funny, meta, fourth wall breaking fiction. You're essentially allowed to, resurrect Iron Man if the plot of Deadpool demands it. So I mean, who knows? It might not be too much of a crazed notion if Hugh Jackman returns as Wolverine. After all, it is Hugh Jackman. What's not there to love? While at the same time, and I'm going to reiterate this again, there is a fair argument to be made about the reduced impact of the ending of Logan and all of that creative jazz when it comes to the screenplay. I just hope that they give Hugh Jackman's return as Wolverine and Deadpool some fastidious thought and creative governance. Otherwise, I think it won't only be disrespectful to the Wolverine character, but disrespectful to the comic book movie genre as a whole. The question I have now is, what do you think about Hugh Jackman's return as Wolverine in Deadpool 3? Do you agree with the assertion that it might blatantly lessen the impact of Logan? Because, let's face it, it might very well be the case if the screenplay isn't being handled by a competent writer. All we can do now is have faith in Marvel Studios to do the right thing and not reverse the impact of Logan's beautiful third act. Are you excited about this news, like I am, despite a bit of skepticism then and there? Were you even surprised to be hearing this news? Was that something you called a mile away? I was definitely surprised. But I want to know what you thought. You could let me know in the comment section below or our Twitter inbox at Cinema Courtroom.